Okay, so picture this. Your company's entire IT setup. It's like a digital fortress. It's holding all of your most valuable stuff, your data, your communications, your operations. But here's the thing. That fortress is under siege, like 24/7, by a whole army of threats that are always getting smarter. So let's open the gates and take a look at what we're really up against.
So you might be wondering, just how many ways are there for an attacker to get inside? Is it just one unlocked door, a little crack in the wall, or maybe a spy on the inside? Well, the reality is, it's all of those things, and a whole lot more. The number of ways they can get in is just huge.
So, to get our bearings, here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with the most unpredictable part, the people, or what we're calling the human gateway. Then we'll check the walls for cracks in the code. After that, we'll zoom out to see the wider battlefield, look ahead to the next wave of attacks, and wrap it all up by asking the big question: are your gates guarded?
Yeah, let's start right here, because honestly, this is where most breaches get their start. You can have the most advanced, expensive security tech in the world, but all of it can be completely useless because of one simple human mistake. The people inside your fortress are both your greatest strength and, you guessed it, your biggest weakness.
So, the number one tool they use to exploit people, it's all about deception. Phishing and social engineering, they're not really about hacking computers. Nope, they're about hacking people. Attackers will create this sense of urgency or pretend to be someone with authority, all to trick an employee into just handing over the keys to the kingdom. And this deception, man, it comes in all shapes and sizes. You've got your classic email phishing, of course, but now they're using text messages. That's called smishing, and even straight-up phone calls, which is known as vishing. And then there are the really sophisticated attacks, like business email compromise or CEO fraud, where they'll actually impersonate an executive to get someone to wire a bunch of money. But here's the thing, not all insider threats are these mustache-twirling villains. You really have to make a distinction. You've got your malicious insider, the person who intentionally wants to cause harm. But then you have the accidental insider, who can cause just as much chaos just by making a simple mistake, you know? Clicking a bad link, misconfiguring something, losing a company laptop. The end result can be exactly the same.
And you knew it was coming. We got to talk about passwords. Look, a weak or reused password isn't just a minor slip-up. It's basically like leaving the master key to your entire fortress just sitting out on the doormat. That one single key could unlock everything, from your private emails to your most critical databases. Everything.
Okay, so even if your people are on high alert, the fortress itself has to be solid, right? Because beyond the human element, the actual code and software that make up your walls can have these hidden cracks, these vulnerabilities that attackers are just constantly scanning for. And a perfect, chilling example of exploiting these cracks is ransomware. It's this brutally effective three-step playbook. First, it finds a way in, usually through a phishing email or a system that wasn't updated. Second, it locks up everything, all your files, all your data. And third, the attackers demand a ransom to give you your own stuff back. It's literally digital extortion. And that really gets to a core problem here. Every single piece of software you use, your OS, your firewall, your apps, they all need regular updates, or patches, to fix security holes as they're discovered. If you don't update, it's like knowing there's a hole in your fortress wall and just leaving it there. Attackers have automated tools that just scan for these old systems and walk right in. So yeah, these vulnerabilities have some pretty techy names, but the ideas behind them are actually pretty straightforward. SQL injection, for instance, is like using a secret command to trick a database into spilling all its secrets. Cross-site scripting is like sneaking a bad piece of code onto a web page that then infects everybody else who visits it. They're all just different ways of taking advantage of flaws in how an application was built. And all of this kind of falls under the big umbrella of malware. Just think of it as any software that's designed to do bad things once it gets past your defenses. Doesn't matter if it's a virus, spyware, or a Trojan horse, the goal is always to mess things up, steal your data, or give an attacker a permanent backdoor into your network. All right, so let's say your people are trained, your walls are patched. You're safe, right? Well, not exactly. The threat isn't just at the front gate anymore. A modern digital fortress is connected to all these other systems and relies on partners, and its assets are spread out all over the place.
We have to look at the entire battlefield.
So let's do a quick rapid fire of these wider threats. First up, a DDoS attack. This is basically a digital traffic jam. The attackers just flood your servers with so much junk traffic that real users can't get through. It completely takes you offline. Next up, a man-in-the-middle attack. Think of this one like digital eavesdropping. An attacker secretly wedges themselves between you and, say, your bank's website. They can see everything, read it, and even change the messages going back and forth without you knowing. And then you have the brute force attack. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's just a robot, a piece of software, relentlessly hammering away at a login screen, trying millions of password combinations a second, just waiting for one to work.
And you know what's really scary about cloud security? It's often not some super sophisticated hack that exposes all your data. A lot of the time, it's just simple misconfigurations, like accidentally leaving a digital storage bucket open to the public. That simple mistake is one of the most common causes of huge data breaches today. But what about the people you trust, your allies? That's where a supply chain attack comes in, and this is a really clever one. Instead of attacking your fortress head-on, they attack one of your trusted software vendors. They sneak malicious code into a legitimate software update, and then they use that trust to basically get escorted right through your front gate.
So, if you had to point to the #1 cause of a data breach, what would it be? The truth is, there usually isn't just one. A big breach is almost always a chain reaction. A little bit of hacking, combined with an accidental mistake from an employee that exploits a database that wasn't configured correctly. It's a bunch of small failures that lead to one giant disaster.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the threats we're facing right now, but the battlefield, it's always changing. Attackers are constantly coming up with new plays, so what new stuff is forming on the horizon that we need to get ready for?
So, let's take a peek at what's coming over the horizon. AI is now being used to write scarily convincing phishing emails. Deepfakes can perfectly impersonate a CEO's voice on a phone call. Attackers are even weaponizing our own security tools with something called MFA fatigue, where they just spam you with login approval requests until you get annoyed and accidentally hit accept. The threats, they never, ever stand still.
Whew. Okay, so we've really surveyed the entire landscape, haven't we? From the people working inside the walls, to the code that builds those walls, all the way out to the supply routes and the brand new threats on the horizon. It's a lot. And it's a dangerous world out there.
So here's the real takeaway. Security isn't just one thing you can solve. It's not just about buying a firewall or installing antivirus software. A real defense, a strong defense, has to cover every single layer. Your people, who can be tricked, your code, which can have flaws, and your entire digital infrastructure, which is under attack from all sides.
And that brings us to one last really critical question I want you to think about. As you look at your own digital fortress and you think about everything we just talked about, of all the possible weak spots, the people, the software, the network, the cloud, which one do you think is your weakest link right now?